As I said to Creative Mornings, climate is the theme, and when you think climate, we often think weather, we often think environments, we often think of the typical climate things. Creative Mornings thought, what if we take that climate in a slightly different direction and start thinking about the climates that we create for ourselves, maybe psychologically, maybe in terms of business, maybe in terms of creativity. How do we create, sustain, or travel through a variety of different climates? And so we thought we would bring a speaker to the stage who is someone that I've actually known for several years. And I knew Atheer as a student at Zayed University. She was one of my students. She graduated, went into media, went into television, was working in PR, and has finally found her true love, I think, and probably the best media to be involved in, radio. And she works actually in this building and in a very interesting and new radio startup that I'm sure she'll talk about. But Atheer is here to join us. Come on, Atheer, to talk about climate.
I never thought I'd be standing with you, by the way. He was always the one, you know, by the board speaking, so.
Atheer, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I turn the stage over to you.
Thank you, James. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Well, I'm Atheer. It's a very weird name, but it's my name. And it's very weird that I also work in a radio station. And the word Atheer is basically the space that the sound travels through. So that was a coincidence. I think my dad, may he rest in peace, saw the future 26 years later. I'm 26 years old. I work in Al-Ula radio station now. We basically document the history of the UAE dating 7,000 years ago. So it's quite interesting, and we will have an English program soon. So I'm so sorry for anyone who doesn't speak English for now. Changing climate. James, shall I start?
Sure.
Why am I shaking? That's weird. Okay. Well, when James called me and he's like, okay, we're going to be speaking about climate, I'm like, I don't know what to say. And he's like, no. And then he basically described what he just said to you guys. And it just took me back to my own experience, because if anything changes in our lives, whether good or bad, or just plain, oh my God, I don't know what's happening, we literally feel like our whole life and our whole world and everything is just changing, a whole climate. Climate is a very big word. Basically, let me start with the background that I chose. It's a Japanese name, I have to read that, I'm so sorry. All right, so some of you might be familiar with the artwork that's in the background. It's called The Great Wave of Kanagawa. It's by a Japanese artist called Katsushika Hokusai. And it's basically a woodblock print. It was published in 1830 and 1833. Why did I choose this? Because, oh, I'm so sorry, Clint, about the mic. Sorry. Is it okay? All right. So basically, this artwork over here, it baffled both artists and scientists. It's in the 1800s or whatever, and first of all, they were thinking of, is it a tsunami? When did this ever happen in Japan and whatnot? However, other people think, a lot of people think, if we actually really do look at it, we see Mount Fuji and we see all the boats and we see this great scary wave coming at them. However, it's something that people would ask, is this inside me? It's both contradicting and mysterious, because climate is a very big word, by the way, as we said. Let's start. This is what we're going to go with. So, it's a noun, the prevailing trend of public opinion or another aspect of life. Prevailing. This is the word that we'd like to focus on. Morning, Siham. That's my colleague, big sister Siham. Thank you for coming. So, basically, like we said, climate is a very big word. I mean, if someone passes away, or if we move to a different country, or we have a baby, or we're having an ultrasound and then find out that instead of one baby we have triplets, our whole life changes. We feel like our whole world is, I'm not going to say upside down, but it's a huge change. And we all reflect on our own experiences. let's just focus on the word prevailing, not the trend of other people. Right now I'm speaking about Emil, I'm speaking about Layla, I'm speaking about, I'm so sorry, I wear glasses and I'm completely blind. What's your good name? Nirosha, that's a very nice name. Nirosha's life. I'm speaking in a very personal, or from a very personal point of view. Let me tell you my story. We're not going to get sad here, but let me tell you my story. This is what basically drove me to where I am today. I'm quite young, I know that. But some things happen in life that make you jump 25 years ahead. Like James said, I'm a media student. I'm an Emirati. I'm originally from Ras Al Khaimah and I live in Dubai. And one day, when I was 24 and I was working in TV, my father had a heart attack. And I'm the eldest. And it was, I felt like I wanted to die, but that's not what my dad wants me to say right now, because I know if he were here, he would like literally smack me in the back of my head and tell me to focus on what I'm doing. So after that, and being the eldest, and literally taking on the role of my father, like literally at home, doing literally everything. I'm the eldest of 3 children. I felt like my whole world has just shifted and I'm living someone else's life. It's as big as the word climate to me. Everything changed. The way I think, the way I speak, the way I dress, the way I treat myself and whatnot. And I thought, okay, no, wait, I have to make you laugh. So we can't control everything, climate changes, and your hair was put on your head to remind you of that you can't really control everything, and I have curly hair, so I can never straighten that properly. So anyway, so if anything changes in life, big change, good or bad, one of the first things that we think of is, oh my God, what's happening? But there are a few steps to basically harmonize with the change of climate, our own climate, your own climate, and your own climate, and your own climate. We all have our own independent worlds that might collide, but we need to understand that we can't control changes in our lives. Thinking, why'd he break up with me? I was so good to him and I gave him everything he wanted. Or, this person that I was really good friends with and they betrayed me and I'm just stuck in the past. I think I'm moving on, but I'm thinking of the past and I am stuck in the past. And we might be prisoners in our past. This will not in any way help us to deal with any big changes in our lives or even normal situations. Never. If we realize that we're prisoners in our past, it doesn't take a long time to get out of it. You just have to understand where you are. If you hold any resentment of anything in life and you don't know why you're angry, look into your past. Don't be a prisoner. Just look into your past. The past is in the past. And the only thing that we have to take from the past are the good memories and the experience or the lessons. Exactly. The past is the past. It made us who we are today. For example, I don't like, I'm giving examples about myself just so that you guys know where the words are coming from, because I speak too much, I speak a lot. Radio is perfect for me, I talk a lot. So if I couldn't move on with my life, or if I'm afraid to get married, or if I'm afraid to even leave the house because I feel guilty that my mom's all alone, I'm stuck in the past of what happened to Baba. Baba is a better being now. He's a higher being. He's with me. However, I could be stuck in the past. And I couldn't move on. I couldn't be as creative as I want to be. I couldn't live my life creatively. I couldn't solve my problems creatively. I couldn't do my work creatively. This is where creativity comes in. See, if you're stuck in the past, you won't be able to have a clear vision. And if you don't have a clear vision, you won't have that motive of, maybe I can do this, or maybe I can do that. So don't be a prisoner of your past. And if you guys know anyone who you feel is still stuck in the past, which is basically maybe every single one of us, some of us might have left that prison without even knowing that they left that prison, good for you. But we have to wake each other up. You have to forgive yourself. A lot of us take it hard upon ourselves. I should have said I love you. I should have stayed home that day. I should have traveled with them. I should have done better. I should have spoken louder. Forgive yourself. We've made mistakes. We've all been idiots at one point in our lives. I mean, that's life. Forgive yourself and move on. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, not in a, narcissistic kind of way, or, I have to do me now, I'm an independent woman, and whatever, men, and I'm a feminist, and I'll just do me, and I'm this Emirati lady, and I'm given my rights, and I'll just show people that I've got my rights with me. No, that's not how it is. We're not there to show someone something and teach them a lesson. People say that happiness is when you make the people you love happy. And if you want to be a positive, creative being for yourself and around others, you've got to focus on yourself. You've got to do you. It's like, for example, Siham and I were talking about this the other day. And she's like, Atheer, I have to tell you something. Don't make the mistake of not living your life because you're holding on to guilt of your mother being all alone at home. And that really opened my eyes. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. Why didn't I think of that? It would make my mom even worse than I think she is. She's okay now. It's been a year and a half. All right? But still, I'm holding on to that feeling of guilt. I'm stuck in the past. I need to get out. And we have to focus on ourselves, just like a battery. We have to fully recharge ourselves in order to glow, in order to give, in order to love, in order to make others happy, in order to be creative in the way we live and we perceive life. Don't judge. Don't judge others. Don't judge you. Who are we to judge, really? I mean, I can't go like, why is she wearing a short skirt? She has no morals. That's not, who am I to judge? I'm speaking to you here and half of my hair is showing and I'm not supposed to show my hair, traditionally speaking. Who are we to judge? Or, oh my God, his girlfriend is like 20 years younger than him. He's her dad. Who am I to judge? It's not our business to judge. There's a higher being that's supposed to do that for us, a very loving being. So who are we to judge ourselves or others? So if we let go of judgment, we will free some space for creativity. Again, not just in work, but also in dealing with life and dealing with problems. If I'm stuck in a very, very bad situation, I need to be creative in order to know how to get out of it. Not just to ask people, how did you get out of this? I did this and that, so I did this and that, and then it didn't work, and oh my God. This person lied to me, and I'm just a bad person, and there I go, judging myself, not forgiving myself. So you have to be free in order to create and be creative. Are you guys following? Is this confusing? All right, okay. All right, so the next point is search the world within you first. You're an entire world inside. We are beautiful beings. We are beings that are made of light. Every single night, I don't know if anyone is with me here, but every single night we do astral travel, our souls leave. That's what I think. That's what I'd like to think. We're beautiful beings, and we have this whole world within us. Discover it. See where the anger is. See where the peace is. See where the love is. See where the forgiveness is. See where the creativity is. And see where the craziness is. Crazy is good. After searching that and after knowing that, you could take 2 days to search within yourself, by the way. It's not a whole journey that, we have to meditate only and just be secluded from the world like I thought and all these things. You could just realize and discover aspects of the world within you within 2 days of a vacation or one very fruitful and good meeting at work. Who knows? Or a conversation with a loved one, your sister, your mother, or even recalling memories with my father. I discovered things in me that I never knew. That's discovering the world within you. And then you've got to discover the world you live within. We live in an awesome world. It's up to you to say, oh, whatever. It's just, no faith in humanity, or, yeah, it's just whatever. This is life. Live with it. We've got to discover the world within us. There's so much goodness, and there's so much creativity, and there are miracles and just amazing things. For God's sake, the baby turtles outside, they're an amazing thing. Go discover them. Have you guys seen them? They go out every around 11:30 in the morning on the small rocks to sunbathe. I swear to God, it's the cutest thing. It's as big as this remote. And I've seen the mothers and the fathers of these turtles with them. Okay, I don't know which one is male and which one is female, but I assume it's a couple, and I see that everything is beautiful. Discover it, whatever it is. This very small, tiny little thing to the amazing things people do, such as Creative Mornings. Are you guys getting paid for this? No, we're not. Why are you doing this, James? Just to do it. That's amazing. It's inspiring. It's helping us. Us, the 50 people in the room, it's helping us. Why? Because someone thought, let's just do Creative Mornings like they do in New York. Why not? That's one of the beautiful things in life, that we get to go through journeys without really physically having to go really far away. After you discover everything, see what fits you. I thought my thing was looking for crime, and I watch Discovery ID a lot, and I'm like, I want to do a show about crime. And I'll just talk to the police, and I'll be like Aphrodite Jones, and it's going to be amazing. And then my father passed away. And I didn't want to think about anything that has to do with health or hearts or pain or any of that. And then discover the world you live within. My father passed away in August, and my birthday is on the 11th of November. I can't go around celebrating my birthday and it's the first time my dad's not physically there. It's hard. And my friends are trying, Atheer, let's go out for dinner. Atheer, let's go out to a spa. We'll take you to a pet shop. I love cats. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Just don't even mention it. And then one day, I couldn't sleep at night. And I'm like, God, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I don't know how to say this. But you know what I mean. And it's God. So of course he knows what I mean. I don't even know what I mean. And then I was like, okay, I can't do this. It's bad. It's scary. It's sad. 2 days later, I get a phone call. And they're like, Atheer, we're going on a trip to a remote village in Morocco. It's called Ibn Tanut. It's really hard to get to. It's a very long trip, but we're going for a good cause. What is that good cause? I think you guys have heard of Noor Bay. They are the ones who treat eyesight for free worldwide, and blindness and trachoma and all these diseases. And I didn't tell you guys. James, what's an eye doctor in English? Ophthalmologist? My dad was an eye doctor. And he was one of the board members that created this foundation and this entity that changed my life. And I'm like, all right, I'd love to come. And they're like, all right, so we're traveling on the 11th of November. God gave me the gift to take me out of my sadness to something that my dad loves so deeply. Discover the world you live within. It's beautiful. Believe that something good is going to happen to you. I never thought that he'd tell me, we'll take you to a remote village in Morocco. I just meant I don't know, something happy or sleep all day. I don't know. And then on my birthday, I didn't even have to spend a single minute over here. Sorry, I'm not going to cry. I'm just really thirsty. All right. So after you discover the world that you live within, see what fits you. You like to write. You like to dance. You like to party, or you like to, I don't know, take massage courses. I don't know. See what fits you. Whatever makes you happy. Knitting courses make you happy? They remind you of your grandmother? Go ahead and do them. What are you going to do with them? They're not going to help you with your career. They're making me happy. See what fits you, whatever that thing is, and be creative while doing it. Alhamdulillah, after Noor Bay, I'm right now one of the members, and we travel to beautiful places like Ethiopia and other amazing places. Yes, they're so far away, but it really helps you get in touch with the real you, away from social media, away from your phone, away from the anxiety that we get if we don't have our phones with us. After you realize all these lessons, not necessarily be 100% good in what you do, but after you learn them, share. Has anyone read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari? Anyone? The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari? Amazing book. This is not a spoiler alert, but in the book, one of the main principles is, if you learn a lesson, you have to share. You have to teach it. It's your responsibility. Am I right? I mean, it's just human nature, but sometimes we forget that. We really do. I mean, it's okay, someone else is going to tell her what's right, and I just go on my way. No, wait a minute. You have to go back to the stranger and tell her that, listen, stop crying. Or listen, you have to do this and you have to do that. And this is why we, as human beings, doesn't matter if I'm Muslim and you're a Buddhist and you're a Christian and you're a Jew, we're all brothers and sisters here. It doesn't matter if I'm brown or beige or black or yellow or white, they're all beautiful. We are here to help one another. When the climate around us changes and we're going through changes and it's overwhelming and you can't really understand what's happening to you, there are certain steps that you have to go with, and you have to understand, don't resist change, it will happen. If you close your eyes, it's still there. If you shut your ears or close your ears, it's still there. If you sweep it under the rug, it's still there, and you're going to trip over that change one day. However, we have to learn how to harmonize with that huge climate change that we go through. We have to harmonize. Yes, I'm 26. But age is nothing. It's nothing compared to the experiences that we go through. Nothing. Each and every single one of us here has a lesson. You have something to teach me, and you have something to teach her, and you have something to teach him. Each and every single one of us holds a lesson. Sometimes we say, yeah, but I don't know how to say it. It's still within you, and I will feel it, even if words didn't come out the way that you really wanted them to. So, understanding all that will allow us to live our lives creatively. It will help us work more creatively, understand each other more creatively, if that makes any sense. Solve problems creatively. Make a change creatively. Malcolm X is not better than us, nor is Gandhi. May they rest in peace. However, we have to understand, just like Dr. Maya Angelou just said, if they can do it, we can do it. We're all made of the same thing. We're all made of the same thing. We're all the same material. We're all the same souls. We just have to stretch and learn until the very last day on our journey here on earth. We have to learn. There's a saying by Dan Gilbert, the mind is incredibly resilient, but it doesn't know that about itself. And we have to keep that in mind. Each and every single one of us is amazing. It's such a cliche thing to say, you're amazing and you're amazing, but you are. You really are. If you really think about it, if you made one person smile from the bottom of their heart, you're amazing. And if you helped an animal cross the road, you're amazing. It says something about you. Something so small, but it says something huge about you. If you're a person that listens to actually listen and not to think of a reply while you're listening, you're amazing. Thank you so much, you guys. I hope I wasn't too cheesy or cliche, but that's my life lesson until now. That's what I learned. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I really hope I made sense.
You are amazing.
Thank you. We always like to open up the floor to any questions. If anyone has anything they'd like to say, a comment, we're more than happy to entertain that. I know time is ticking, and we've got Rami wants to have a quick word with you. Any comments from anyone? Questions? Anything? Marcus, you stay here. You're the speaker.
Thanks a lot for the talk, it was brilliant. I just have one question. So you say that I think resonates with a lot of people, myself. We're often a prisoner of the past. And you've had a great learning that obviously you shared a bit with us now. If you can say what's the biggest single thing that allows you to release what's happened in the past and to live your life now and also look forward to the future, what would that be?
It's weird, but no, it's forgiving myself. But one of the things that really helped me get past being the prisoner of the past is knowing that I'm actually heading somewhere, that I'll be with my father. And he's my best friend and he's my mentor and he still guides me. And it's weird. And you know, people will say meditation and forgiving yourself and doing you. That's all right. But as me, it's knowing that I'm heading somewhere that's amazing. And when I sit with my dad, I want to tell him about all the great things that I did instead of telling him, well, I've been crying and really sad and I couldn't really pick up myself. That's going to disappoint him. And God has given me a gift. So might as well work with that. So.
Any other questions? Comments? Atheer, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
Creative Mornings.
James.
It's been an
Thank you,
absolute
guys.
pleasure.
Thank you so much for your patience. I talked a lot. Thank you, guys, so much.